Terraria has a lot of non-playable characters that arrive in our world. These characters arrive when specific requirements are met, but among these non-playable characters, there are some that have interesting lores behind them. For example, the guide who stands by your side the moment you arrive in Terraria. He helps the player by giving tips, advice, and crafting recipes, a conveniently placed character which hides a terrifying secret. In lore, the guide comes from the Order of the Guide. This order serves to pass down generations of knowledge to the next guide, to hopefully aid the player in our quest to save our world from a terrifying entity. But still, despite being our helper in Terraria, the guide is bound by this world as the guardian. Even the developer of Terraria confirmed that the guide is in fact the literal wall of flesh. But why is it the guide that is chosen to be the guardian? You see, being the guardian means acting as a living seal of the ancient spirits of light and dark that are constantly pushing to break free. If they are released, they will rapidly consume and destabilize the world of Terraria. To prevent this from happening, the world or gods bound these spirits on the guide, turning him into a vessel or a lock. And if we remember, he is part of the Order of the Guide. You might be wondering what's so special about being part of the Order. It all comes down to the ancient spirit of light and dark. Before this character became the guide we all know, some sort of ritual was done to him to seal the ancient spirit of light and dark inside this guide, which is also the reason why the guide knows all of these crafting recipes. Is it because the spirits that are sealed within give all of these information? This also causes the guide to be cursed, as his soul is now bound with the wall of flesh, turning the guide into the literal master core and supreme guardian of the world. The most tragic of them all, despite knowing all of these, the guide still chooses to help the player, as this was his sworn duty to aid the champion of Terraria through passing his knowledge, which later would be sacrificed by the very person that he is helping and finally releasing those ancient spirits. Even more tragic is the creation of the voodoo doll. You see, Terraria has these enemy in the underworld that carries a voodoo doll, and every time one of these demons gets too close to the lava and dips that voodoo doll, the guide, in the comfort of safety, suddenly starts burning. Even one of the nurses' dialogue states, "I need to have a serious talk with guide. How many times a week can you come in with severe lava burns?" Which confirms that the guide can randomly start burning. Imagine just peacefully enjoying life and then suddenly you just started burning out of nowhere. And how is this even possible in the first place? And why can the voodoo doll affect the guide? Well, the answer lays on the voodoo demon entry. Higher-ranking demons can possess a voodoo doll of the Chosen One, whose soul is linked with the world's guardian himself. And we all know who that guardian is. And the saddest of them all is the reason why voodoo doll exists in the first place, so players could get revenge on him for always opening the door. Redigit himself said those words. Speaking of tragedy, we have another character that is a survivor of a great war and the only one living among their entire race. And it's none other than the Dryad herself. And she arrives in our world by only specifically defeating one of these bosses. And what even is so special about these bosses? Why does she only arrive when we defeat at least one of them? Well, according to the official lore, the race of Dryads were part of this war against the Cthulhu. The Dryads were able to defeat this being by ripping its body apart, and each of these bosses represents a severed body parts of the Cthulhu. Though that war almost resulted in the Dryads' race getting wiped out, only leaving this one that arrived in our world as the sole survivor. Now our Dryad has been trying to finish what they have started, but she lacked the power to defeat at least one of these bosses. So when she saw you, the Terrarian, defeating one of these bosses, the Dryad immediately sought you out as she sees the potential in you. In a way, she's treating the champion of Terraria as her own personal executioner to the remaining Cthulhu parts that still continue to ravage Terraria. And another interesting thing about the Dryad is her dialogue saying, "You must cleanse the world of this corruption," implying that she wants these biomes gone from Terraria. And when you try to balance the biomes, she just says, "The world is in balance." Compared to completely purifying the world, her reaction is this: Terraria is completely pure. You have done an amazing job. She even complimented us by removing the evil biomes and the hallow. On top of that, we even got an achievement for it. Good riddance. But it doesn't make any sense at all. Why does the Dryad who fought so desperately to save the world wants these biomes gone? These biomes exist to create balance on Terraria. Even the official lore of Terraria states the worlds utilize many defense mechanisms to ensure the balance is upheld at all costs. Some of them are known as the Hallow, Corruption, and Crimson. With the Dryad's bestiary states that she is connected with nature. In that sense, she should also be able to know that the world is a sentient being that can feel the thoughts of all living beings. With the Dryad's connection with nature, she should know the importance of these biomes among all beings that resides in Terraria. But still the Dryad really wants them purified. Why is that? Well, it all comes down to the ripped out parts of the Cthulhu. You see, these body parts have caused harm in Terraria. For example, the Skeletron that cursed the dungeon, the brain hijacking the Crimson, turning it into its own, born from the spine of the Cthulhu and then corrupted by the sins of this world, thus emerge the Eater of Worlds. The Dryad, seeing that the Cthulhu's ripped out body parts, integrating with the evil biomes and using them to get stronger, concluded that she needs to purify these biomes to prevent these bosses from getting more powerful. And even when the Terrarian defeated them, the Dryad is still wary of the Crimson and Corruption, as there is still a possibility of the spine and brain getting revived in those biomes. And in case of the Hallow, this biome will consume anything that it considers a threat to the critical balance of life, which is every single biome in Terraria. It does this to find the next guardian after the previous one was sacrificed. Seeing that there is no compatible being to be the next guardian, the Hallow will continue to spread, so the Dryad may have realized this and asked the Terrarian to purify it as well. And with all of that, you might think that the Dryad is a character that genuinely cares for Terraria and hates the evil. This in fact may be true, but still the Dryad hides something that she's been trying to suppress. One of the odd behaviors she has is during Blood Moon, and her usual dialogue has a completely different vibe in it. She will even start selling evil biome seeds and saying, "I sell what I want. If you don't like it, too bad." Dang, isn't she supposed to be against those evil biomes? Now she's here openly selling them? Something is not right here, almost as if the Dryad is a completely different person. In the Labor of Love update of Terraria, developers added a new type liquid that we call the Shimmer. This is a mysterious liquid that can uncover an entity's alternate form or true visual state. When the Dryad is shimmered, her other form is revealed, and it's a completely corrupted version of her. But still, the Dryad is still normal here and acts just like her usual self, since this is just her alternate form. Or is it? You see, Terraria also has this update that introduces the Old One's army from the Dungeon Defenders too. And unfortunately, out of all the people, the Dryad got knocked into the portal, and this causes the Dryad to completely lost her connection to the world of Terraria. Here in this new world or dimension without the connection to the world of Terraria, her alternate form completely takes over, changing her appearance. Thankfully, she managed to take control of this corrupt nature due to her sheer will of purity, and utilizing this power to fight the Old One's army and return to Terraria. This also answers the reason why the Dryad wanted the world of Terraria completely purified, as this makes it easier for her to suppress this corrupt nature within her. Since she also shares a connection in this world, naturally the more chaotic Terraria is, the more unstable the Dryad becomes. And finally, the Dryad is very old, having an estimated age of 500, which makes me wonder how many years have passed since the war against the Cthulhu. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, guys, and watching this video till the end. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day for me. And also, I'm going to do my best to make more videos, but school is seriously taking over my life right now. Anyway, hope you all have an awesome day. Catch you later.